Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
Fuck good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Salutations, cherished Chuddle Club members, and welcome to a brand new meeting of the Chuddle the Pod Horror Movie Club, where horror movie lovers have a feel-good time. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it every time you come around to the club and hang out and chat. We got a special, fun little bonus episode tonight, so I'm right. Joined by my lovely co-occupant. You heard him right there, Sam.
Sup?
Thanks for joining in. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be had.
Good. Ross isn't here tonight.
No.
He had to pass up. He sends his love and his hair. We all just got like a clump of hair in the mail. So he said that should suffice for the episode, and we appreciate it.
It should. Mine said it would protect me. So.
Oh, mine said I could use it as like a weapon.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Is he trying to pit us against each other?
I hope he's okay. Now I'm wondering what's going on.
Especially if he's shaving off all his body hair. We know how important that is to him. But we'll leave that be. That's for another time. That's for the other bonus episode.
Yeah,
Ross's body hair.
The Ross hair battle 2024.
Exactly. That's coming soon, just like all the Chuddle battles. Anyway. Thank you so much for, like, as I said, joining us tonight. We got a special one. As we've mentioned a little bit on the podcast before, I know we've definitely talked about it in the Discord and on the Patreon and everything like that. I recently attended in person the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival, and we also were able to get some screeners from those movies we watched. So, Sam and Ross were able to virtually participate over the past few weeks. We'll say so.
That's right.
We all festivaled it out. And so, yeah, you heard me mention the Patreon. Don't forget, we have our coven. We got to shout you guys out first. Well, not first at this point, but we got to shout you out. We love you. We got to shout you out. We love our coven and our patron of witches. Jump into there to join up. Get a special little color in the Discord. Your name's all colorful in different ways. For which tier you join up to. That's fun, right? We all like different colors. You get an infinite times 4 amount of bonus content.
That's correct.
And old episodes. We have a back catalog that goes back, that predates us. I mean, as humans.
That's correct.
We have it. So join up 369. All those levels will get you something so fine. So thanks for listening to that. Let's get into the meat of it tonight.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now the meeting's begun, and now we're going to really
That's right.
talk it up tonight. Now,
That's right.
That's right. Thank you, Sam. We're going to do a number of this tonight.
Let's do some lines.
That's right.
Yeah. As we go throughout these movies here, we're gonna run through everything that played at the festival, what we were able to check out, how we felt about certain things. We want to give you guys a kind of little peek at what these movies are, give you the log lines and all that kind of fun stuff, and what we liked with it, and help spread the word, and hopefully entice some listeners out there to check these out when they become hopefully more readily wide available. This is a fun, different thing that we got to do, and we're ready to do.
That's right.
Do more. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no, I am excited about this. I was excited that we got to watch all these. This is new for us. We're hoping to do this more with other film festivals if we can virtually attend them. Or
in person, whatever.
In person would be great. Maybe a judge.
Ooh, someday. It'll happen.
For now, I am happy to discuss these with you. And
me too.
It's cool to get this sneak peek and kind of do a entirely spoiler-free version of the episode. There will be no spoiler drop. I mean, obviously, if you don't want to know anything about the movie whatsoever,
don't
listen.
That's tough.
Skip ahead. But our sort of, general, give you an idea, give you a taste. And then hopefully when they're wide released, you'll
be able to check them out. Yeah. And I think something that we'll definitely be doing is promoting that, especially if we like the movie a lot, be like, oh, this is one that we saw on the fest.
Yes.
We'll talk about it on our Instagram and everything like that. So again, this was the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. Let me tell you something about them real quick. I'm going to go over to their About page.
Yeah.
This is
good idea.
According to the Brooklyn horrorfest.com.
Where is it?
And well, this kind of explains it here. Mainly Brooklyn. I guess it was pretty much all Brooklyn. It had a few different, it had like 2 different locations. And then they had some there was like a trivia event one night that was like at like a bar. So they had like event stuff going on around the area, but pretty much it wasn't too far from where I was. I was able to easily get on a bus that shot me straight down there. So that was not bad. I was able to hop on a shuttle bus and get over there to the majority of them, but I'm getting so sidetracked by that. So this is bringing the best of domestic and international genre cinema to New York City since 2016. This was their 9th year. The Brooklyn Horror Film Festival is a premier East Coast genre festival that embodies the eclectic spirit of its namesake. Not only did they provide the nightmare fuel that audiences expect, but also pride itself on challenging those expectations, spotlighting films that push the boundaries of what is normally deemed horror. Taking place in venues throughout the borough every October, Brooklyn Horror Film Fest complements its ambitious features and shorts programming with exciting and unique live events, crafting a must-attend festival experience for industry members and film fans alike. I know they had karaoke one night.
Ooh.
This event was a fun time. I didn't get to really attend to, I didn't have the chance to attend a lot of the events and stuff like that. I just didn't have time.
Sure.
I wanted to be able to see a lot more of these movies in person. Would have been really, really cool. But just because I hadn't been to these theaters before, this one was at the Nighthawk Cinema in Williamsburg. So they had these cool, nice.
That's a real hipster area, right?
Yeah. It's real hipstery feeling theater, I felt like. But no, it was nice seats. But they had service, people would come to you and take your order and all that shit and get fancy popcorn. I was like, you could order
what kind of popcorn did you get?
I got regular butter, salt, a couple of the nights, but then they had I think it was the Nighthawk popcorn, which was some sort of truffle something. I'm a truffle guy.
Like truffle.
Yeah. I know it's hit or miss with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was digging it. I discovered that a little bit towards the latter end of the fest, and then I was munching on that a bunch of the different nights, munching on my truffle popcorn.
I just had some stuffing flavored popcorn. That was delicious.
A lot of popcorn flavor. There's a lot of flavor you can put on popcorn. I feel like that works really well.
Oh yeah. Maybe we should have some sort of Chuddle flavor.
We should have a Chuddle everything. Chuddle the popcorn.
We should.
A Chuddle flavored popcorn. We'll
put your goo butter on there.
Oh God, it's green. And that'd be fun. And purple. You can get different color.
Purple's
goos.
The light version.
Thanks for coming to Popcorn Talk.
Or maybe green's plant based.
Oh, that works. Well,
That's what I use.
The butter, quote unquote, that's at movie theaters, or at least it was definitely when we were working there, was vegan. It's the stuff that's in those machines.
Because it's not real butter.
No, it's not. But it's delicious. I'll put it
butter flavored liquid.
Yeah, give me that butter flavored liquid. All right. So shout out Brooklyn Horror Film Fest. Thank you so much, because as I said, I was able to get a press pass for this, which was a cool, awesome experience in and of itself. Just to have that ability to have our podcast be able to get this opportunity to bring stuff like this to you guys, the audience, is really neat.
Absolutely.
And fun. And I feel honored.
What to watch out for.
Right? I feel honored. So this is, they had 2 different types of categories for the films. Dark Matter was one, and Head Trip. I think the Dark Matter typically was, heavier themes behind it. A lot of these movies I did notice had like maybe trauma themes or there's a lot of undertones to a lot of the movies here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They all have something to say.
Exactly. With horror, aspects to a lot of them. And I know one of them that
Horror
we're
is a
talking.
great genre for
It really is.
For that.
It allows you to
tell
play
any
around.
type of story. Yeah.
Just
unlimited. And if you have something to say, you can do it and disguise it in a fun, entertaining way.
Or a truly horrific way, using literal monsters and demons and blood and guts to convey feelings of, trauma,
be as ham-fisted
grief,
or
anything like that.
Or as subtle as you like.
It's fun. Hey, we really like horror over here.
We sure do. Hey, look at us.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So as I said, they had these two categories here. Each were judged by, I think, a couple different people. The only one that I really recognized was Toby Poser, who did of the Addams Family crew, Hellbender, Where the Devil Roams, Hellhole is, I believe, their newest one here. She was one of the judges for the Dark Matter, along with Justin D. Pietro, Executive Vice President of Dark Sky Films.
I know that name too.
Yeah. Production company. I think they produce, or they had their name on a couple of these, I know, and some stuff that I've seen like advertised and people talking about on Instagram and on socials and stuff. Seen their name popping up. And Edoardo Vitaletti, Italian-born, New York City-based screenwriter and director. And Toby, those were our judges for Dark Matter. And then we had Head Trip, Jacqueline Castell, New York City based, Jenica McCrayer, Brooklyn writer, cinephile, Jim Brunzel III. I don't know. He has a big fucking thing. Yeah, great. Shout out to everyone involved here. So those were our judges for these films. And then there was a bunch of shorts. I was going to try to attend some of those. I just wasn't able to. So much scheduling bullshit, full-time jobs, real life, all that kind of nonsense really get in the way sometimes. Why do we have to work? Isn't that stupid? Can we just all attend film festivals?
Horror movies,
right? So the whole shorts thing, the one I was going to try to attend was like a horror comedy shorts.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it would have been, I bet.
Bum.
So there's a whole section of that. We didn't get any like screeners or check out anything like that. So if you're interested in that, you can still check out their website, which has a list of all the movies that played and all the shorts that played as well. If you want to guys get into it more. So all that out of the way, let's get into what the hell we checked out. I have a fun little spreadsheet here of everything that pretty much played and what we were able to see and what we got going here. I'm going to kick it off with the one that I saw the first night, the opening film of the night, which was Dead Male. And I know we did able to get a screener for this. This was one Sam was able to check out, and one that I saw in the theater there. And they had the directors were there doing Q&A stuff, introing the film and everything like that, which was fun to see. This one did win a couple of awards. This was in the Head Trip category as well. One for Best Film from the Head Trip Jury Award and Best Ensemble.
Let's do some lines.
Yeah, you want to do some more?
Let's do some lines.
We don't need to do it every time, I guess. An ominous help note finds its way to a 1980s post office, connecting a dead letter investigator to a kidnapped keyboard technician. Knowing that, I probably knew even less going in. I knew it was something about a note that got sent to someone through the mail or something like that. But
I assumed it was about like the dead mail department in the post office.
Did you know
somehow.
about the dead mail department?
Yes, I had heard it talked about on a podcast recently.
That's interesting. So there's this thing, and all post offices, maybe some, I don't know how it works, but
I don't know how it works.
Maybe it's a regional thing. It's like the dead mail department, where it's mail that comes that's like, what is it, like shit's like rubbed off, you can't quite tell, it's undeliverable for whatever reason. And within this particular post office, there's this like savant gentleman who like is just
Yeah.
able to well, he has
He's
his
like a Sherlock Holmes, a dead male.
he has his buddy that he calls up if he needs help sometime. I like that guy.
This movie's set in the
Early 80s?
80s?
Something like that.
That was my guess as well.
Because what
I love the ambiance, the vibe. It's a vibey movie. If you're into
yes,
atmosphere, this is a good one.
it feels very much of that time, and especially with the soundtrack that goes along with it.
Synth throughout, bit heavy.
One of the key components is about this keyboard maker in like the very early times of really trying to perfect like the sounds of the keyboard and what that can make, and literally doing stuff on the circuit board. Well, not
Right.
not welding, but you know what it is.
This was like single keyboard. You're trying to patch them to make it actually sound like an instrument. And a few companies have now come out with ones that sound like multiple instruments, but they don't sound that good. You know, it gets into it, which I was here for.
Yeah, that was super fun.
A little nerd in me is like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. And they pretty much, the directors were talking about, they got the idea because they had, I don't know if they heard it from a podcast, but they had heard about this dead male department thing. And that's kind of what sparked the interest in
Shout
going
out
with
to
it.
Heavyweight. Great show. Unfortunately, I mean, it's different now, but different host.
Okay. Gotcha. So, this is, I keep saying they, them, the directors, Joe DeBoer and Kyle McConaughey. I don't believe really have any other credits to their name. As far as I remember, this is their first feature, if I'm not wrong.
Their first feature. Interesting.
No,
I'm going to it now.
corrected. Yeah. They Bab is something I see as well from 2020. But
okay.
at least with one of them here. But no, I think the direction
Add
of
that
it
to
was
the watch
great.
list now.
Yeah,
I've been really into vibey movies, so if it's any based on this one, I assume it'll be pretty atmospheric.
yeah, it does a great job with that. I think that's one of the things. It also, our actors in it are really good. I did get our best ensemble. The main,
I really like the detective guy. There's something about him that's captivating.
I agree. I thought he was, yes, captivating is a perfect word. Anytime he was on screen, I was very interested in watching him and his story and what was going on. Same thing with Trent, the I guess captor guy, the guy. Yeah. He played really well in that role. That's John Fleck.
Our guy that we just said was captivating is in 3 from Hell and the Munsters.
Okay, there you go. So he's definitely he's got more under his belt.
Works with Rob Zombie. Jasper Thomas Boykin.
So that's Dead Male. I definitely enjoyed that one. That was a fun kickoff to the night. That was a good, like I just said, not kickoff to the night, a good start to the fest. And then
absolutely. I can see it being that. I watch these all on my computer, but it again, with that atmosphere of the movie and me being that what I'm into right now, it just seems like afterwards everybody really feels like we did it. Like it's happening. I don't know how else to describe it.
Hell yeah, man. So be on the lookout for Dead Male. I didn't have any kind of, I'm just going to start going through here ones that we have definitely seen, and then I'll work into the ones that you missed, and then the ones that we both missed.
Sure.
That way we'll just work through at the end there. So next I have on the list was Bone Lake. I did not attend this one in person, right? And the entendre is on purpose.
I'll be attending it in Miami this weekend.
Hey, I did not attend this in person. Yeah. But we got the screener from this, and this one, the Bronze Award from the audience award. This one I'll give you I'll do a line for you real quick.
Yeah.
When two young couples are mistakenly double booked into the same vacation rental, the romantic weekend becomes a twisted maze of sex, lies, and survival. This is directed by Mercedes Bryce Morgan and written by Joshua Friedlander. Now, Mercedes Bryce Morgan, you might recognize that name. And our listeners might know that name as well. Recently, it came out on Shudder with Spoonful of Sugar from 2022-ish. Around that time, she directed that one as well. Same kind of similar energy, maybe, of that like sexual energy thriller type of
kind
thing
of a
going
sexual
on there.
thriller in there.
So I'll say personally, those aren't always my favorite types of movies, but this one did give me, I was pleasantly surprised by it. I liked
absolutely
where it went. And
I'm kind of a sucker for stranger danger movies. I don't know what else to call them. But
yes, I do like
when
I
you
like
meet
that.
people who appear friendly, but you know that they're going to be the bad guy.
I think that's why I liked it and why it drew me in. You know, they go into this big fucking crazy Airbnb mansion, and then like the hot couple shows up.
Mm-hmm.
This other couple, they played their roles really well. Great.
I liked all the actors in the movie, particularly. Well, no, I guess I liked them all. Like everyone has their moments that kind of shined.
Mm-hmm. Will, I believe his name is Alex Rowe. He's the main like sexy guy. Yeah,
he's great.
He's great.
Another captivating performance.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. I don't want to say too much about this one without like getting into where the twists and turns lead on it. But it's definitely a fun ride that I definitely recommend this one, because where it gets to and takes you is super fun, and I was unexpected, which is why I think I kind of came out of it much happier than, I don't know. I don't want to say I was expecting, but yeah, definitely when I was expecting, just because I don't like I said, I'm not usually into the sexual thriller.
Right.
That doesn't usually rock the cockles, but this one did a good job. So Bone Lake, check it out. I don't need to say that after every one of these movies. Check them out. Mm-hmm. You know how it goes there. Next on
I will say, if you liked Spoonful of Sugar, definitely check it out.
This see, there's something about Spoonful of Sugar that I enjoyed. I think it's almost, there is that good. This one isn't super vibey, but it does have it looks good. And kind of like, and I thought Spoonful of Sugar really looked good and had some sort of vibe to it. The style of it. And I got that out of this in a way that I enjoyed. So next on the list, I have Somnium. That won the Silver Audience Award. Oh, Bone Lake was the head trip category, and Somnium is in the Dark Matter category. And I think the audience awards are just from all the movies combined together. So like gotcha. they pick out of any of those. Somnium is at an experimental sleep clinic. Somnium, dreams are made real. Side effects may include hallucinations, confusion, paranoia, sleep paralysis, detachment from reality, lost sense of self, permanent nightmares. Written and directed by Rachel Kane. This is the one I think I've watched most recently. I didn't attend this one in person either. So this is one of the screeners we got. This reminded me almost of like this doctor's office thing, almost like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind type of place.
Oh, sure.
This is weird medical, I don't know, building with this miracle doctor. I mean, she advertises, it's a known thing that you can go to this person. So it's like kind of like known in this world. Yep. That this doctor produces winners.
Make your dreams come true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you come and stay at this sleep clinic. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do.
And this young girl wants to be an actress, moves out to LA, needs a job. Well, she's trying to get acting jobs and gets a job as like the overnight watch person at this clinic.
Yeah. And our main girl, Grace Van Dien, she's been in some things like a couple episodes of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
one of the biggest ones that I noticed. Oh, you've seen her in something?
Oh, wait, no.
Not this one?
That's not our main girl, right?
Is it not? Oh, am I looking at the wrong person?
Yeah, Chloe Levine is our main girl. Gemma.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong one.
Gemma's the main character. But she was in The Ranger, and she's also in The Sacrifice Game.
Yes.
So I knew her from The Ranger. I think that's the only one I've seen.
That makes sense.
But
yes, The Ranger, that's good. That has our boy Jeremy Holmes in it.
Yep.
And
Chloe Levine.
That's it. I was like, I feel I knew her name was, I knew the name I was saying didn't seem right for what I was talking about, but now it makes more sense because I was just looking at the completely wrong person. She was also in a show, The OA. I know that was big with a lot of people, like 11 episodes of that or something. So there, again, great performances out of this one. This one is definitely, I think it is what it's in the dark matter, but this one is certainly head trippy as well.
Absolutely. A lot of intrigue and mystery and I don't want to say too much. It's got that sort of seedy LA Hollywood atmosphere.
I definitely enjoyed that aspect to it. I like movies that dabble in that kind of world, like, you know, Hollywood and that world's fucked up, and this is what, you know, the outcomes of it and what people do for fame and that type of stuff. So I certainly like that. And again, it was shot very beautifully. It has because it deals with dreams and these dream sequences that I thought had some cool effects to it that I hadn't really. It's dreams in a much more, you know, if they're, you know, being programmed and manipulated type of way and stuff, which is really cool. I thought there was a lot of really cool visual stuff to it. This is one that I saw, like I said, most kind of recently, so I'm still sitting with it and stuff. But overall, I had a good time trying to fucking figure out what was going on.
I was really into this one. Yeah. And one thing I saw, because I went and looked at the director, she wrote and directed this, and this is her first feature, and she's been trying to get it made for a long time. And she did it basically all on her own. It's really impressive. Makes me like the movie even more, you know, stories like that.
Definitely. But the shoestring budget, I can only assume, in something that she's making on her own, like everything, all that money went onto the screen because it fucking looks beautiful. Like, I think it's the style again to it. A lot of these movies have a lot of those underlying, you know, themes, but also a lot of really cool styles and stuff to it, and a lot of vibey stuff going on with these.
There are a lot of them are very atmospheric and vibey, and just, you know, the tone is not in your face, but there, you know, it's not, they don't just feel, they all feel unto themselves.
And it feels a lot of purpose driven stuff. And while there was some that I definitely didn't vibe with the story overall or the plot or whatever like that, a lot of them there was still so much awesome filmmaking going on in a lot of different aspects to these.
Still appreciated the watch.
It was able to, like, you know, pull you in some different way. And I was excited to see what will become from a lot of these filmmakers here, because there is a lot of first time stuff or early works or anything like that. And that's probably one of the other really cool aspects to this, was just kind of being able to see that, especially in a theater too. I know you had the screener aspect, which is how I saw this in the last one, which fucking worked great still. Would been,
yeah. It was fun watching them as screeners, but I just love going to the movies and being in a movie theater full of people.
No, man, I don't. Yeah, it's the way to do it. If you can, go out and see it in the theater. Next, we got Grafted. This is another one that I did not get to attend. More often I didn't attend than I could, but we did get the screener recently for this one, and this was in the dark matter category. Logline for this: a bright but socially awkward exchange student takes her craving for popularity to horrifying heights. This was directed by Sasha Rainbow. Writers were Lee Murray, Sasha Rainbow, and Mia Maramara.
This one goes. It cooks. It starts strong and keeps going.
Yeah, no, I think there was a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, that kind of, social popularity thing, Outcast, and mixing with a little bit of body horror, science fiction-y.
Mad scientist.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Grafted. It's about skin grafting, and this girl has this scientist father who's trying to, perfect skin graft technology by, I don't know, his crazy serums. This has a lot of fun different colored goos and serums in it.
Oh yeah,
I really liked all
corpse
those
flowers in this. I'm pretty sure that's the world's biggest flower, so that's cool.
and it's stinky.
Yeah,
Attracts
they
the
stank.
flies. Yeah, so I don't think this is a spoiler by any means, and it pulls you in. He has an accident when he's young, so that I think that really drives our main character to continue his work. And she gets like, she's in China, and then like later in her life goes over to New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah, so then the rest of the movie, so then the movie takes place pretty much over there. Beautifully, wonderfully acted, a fun little cast of, that high school, mean girl cliquey type of stuff. And how our main character reacts to all that.
For some reason, of the ones I watched, this one seems to me like the one that I feel like people are gonna like the most or get the most talked about it. I feel like once more people see this, I will see this one getting a lot of buzz.
I agree. There's a lot of really fun, neat, different things I feel like going on here. And again, shot beautifully. This won Best Director, Sasha Rainbow, for that was the Dark Matter Jury Award. So she won for that one. I think the direction is great, and it makes sense within the scope of the movie and how you would have to direct the actors to do what they're doing, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot. I'm having trouble talking about this one because I don't want to say too much.
No, certainly. It's again another twisty turny one, and it really has a fun time with body horror and skin grafting and a girl just wanting to fit in and be popular. So I think there's, like Sam said, you're going to see some buzz about this one here. I think the ones we're a lot of the ones we got to see are you're going to see some buzz about. And I think a lot of these on the list, from what I've read about them, seem like really cool and interesting films. So one way or another, I think there's going to be a lot of neat stuff popping out of this, or moving to other fests that are going to start popping up over there and making maybe those rounds or something like that. But it's this one's cool. This one popped out. This was a big one for you, Sam.
I mean, I'm not even personally sure where I land on it.
But you see,
it maybe in a weird way, it seems the most memeable.
Oh, sure.
So maybe that's why.
Most TikTokable.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
it seems best adept for the internet culture to adopt.
Perfect. Look out for Grafted. Next, let's move over to Psychonaut. Now, this was one I was like super excited for because this stars a fan favorite of Sam and I's, Fiona Dourif, and
that's
a bunch of other names that we're not familiar. Well, I'm not familiar with by any means. This one is, even the director said beforehand, self-proclaimed pretty much more sci-fi than horror movie. It's not really a horror movie. I mean, there's aspects to it where you could apply it, but he's like, I think of this as really much more sci-fi, which I enjoyed a lot and I thought was cool. So this was, again, one I did see in person, saying, the director talked about it. He was there along with, like, I think the producer, the cinematographer was there as well, which was cool. And so the production designer and maybe a couple other people for it. They had the Q&A afterwards.
Oh, wow. A lot of them were there, huh?
Yeah, but not Fiona Dourif. She was not there. I know. I think she resides out in LA. I think she kept posting recently about, like, go see my dad at something going on in New York, like in the area, something. I was like, damn it, I would love to have been able to go out to something that Brad Dourif was at.
I'd love to see your dad.
Yeah, I'd love to see your dad. Your daughter said on Instagram to come say hi to you. Hey.
Can you tell her that I think she's awesome?
Can you say this back? All right, so Psychonaut. Enabled by a mysterious, futuristic machine, Max, a young woman, dives inside the mind of her dying girlfriend, trying to find the essential memory that could save her life, all the while being hunted by a man they presume to be dead. This is that I don't like that logline. It's really wordy. I think that can be played with, but that's IMDb,
It is a tough one to do a logline for. I'll give it that.
It certainly is. This one, talk about style and talk about, like, vibiness to it. This one has its whole world built.
Black and white and set in your head, so they can really
Exactly. But like the technology, the machinery that's like there, that it still has like that has a style, like this retro futuristic look to a lot of the stuff. And there's things that they pointed out when they're talking about the Q&A and in some sections versus how one thing looks here versus how things look in this other one, of slight differences, but how things probably look still similar throughout it. I thought this one was, I was in love with the cinematography of this. I thought it looked fucking amazing and awesome. I thought the story was fun and everything, and I enjoyed going through this world and twisting around and playing around in that stuff. But I feel like
but it was really the visuals that hit for you.
Yeah, those aided the story in a fun way for sure. I think that was really cool to watch. This was directed by, oh God, I'm gonna murder this guy's name. Dish Muse.
Oh yeah, this Muse.
Yep, that's it.
I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah. Where are they? I forget where they're from. Norway, Sweden, or something. It's
Slavic, Scandinavian, something like that.
But a lot of cool, interesting stuff. Yeah, I mean, this one again is super head trippy. I think I wonder if it was in the. I don't know why I don't have the category for it. Was it not in a category? Maybe it wasn't. Like no category for you.
Uncategorical.
No, this one's super head trippy. As it said, it's about this fucking machine that like allows you to go into other people's heads or something like that and look around for this thing. I'm curious as to where this one will pop up. Because I don't know if it's just like a thing that would land on like Shudder or something like that, but I do see it as marketable and something people would be interested in.
Sure.
I think they've also made, I want to say the director made like an action movie. The director and the cinematographer, their only other movie was, or a couple of the other movies were like this, like a heavy action movie.
Interesting.
And then they moved over to this. I remember them talking a bit about that.
Movie.
No, it is not. No, it is not. All right. Next on the list, we have The Last Sacrifice. I know this was like the only documentary that we saw out of the group. And IMDb has the log line as interrogating true crimes, cultural impact from murderous origins to modern revival, exposing British society's prejudices and dark underbelly. That's terrible. This is really I'd say about like the influences in folk horror.
Yeah, for English folk horror.
Yeah,
how it spawned like a whole thing, and how a lot of it was inspired by one case in particular, where a man was dead and there was all these theories about it, and it's how each sort of like cycle of this one particular murder influenced horror movies.
Right.
But all like, the small British villages. And I didn't even realize till I was watching this how, like, I know The Wicker Man, but I didn't realize that it's how many of these movies there were. And it really put Hot Fuzz in a whole new context for me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting. I didn't even think of that. I would definitely see that way now. This one was cool. It was fun to see a documentary and something different. And I just like, if you like folk horror or any kind of aspect of it, this was just a cool thing to see some inspirations of it, and people talk about the influences for it and everything like that. And I thought it was done really well as well.
Yeah, I love documentaries.
Yeah,
it was great.
Rupert Russell is a writer-director of this one here. And obviously, you have a lot of talking heads with it and clips of old, like, folk horror shit that, like you were saying, I had no idea really much about a lot of these.
It seemed like the 70s, maybe. It was like an explosion. It was like the slasher boom or something.
Right. Yeah, it was really cool to learn about. I mean, unfortunately, well, I was about to spoil something, so let's not do that. So I think you'll definitely be seeing this come out somewhere. This would be like perfect on like
if that sounds interesting to you, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, go look for it and stuff like that. Next on the list, this was from someone that we have we've seen some of their past work before. This is from Can Evrenol Sayara is the name of the movie here. So he also made Baskin. So if you've seen Baskin and heard our Baskin episode, either way, check it out. That one is known as a kind of brutal brutal film with some heavy themes and all that kind of.
Yeah, I thought this was more brutal.
This definitely is. No, oh yeah, this is much more brutal than Baskin because, well, here, when her sister is murdered by a group of politically connected rich kids, Sayara, a quiet gym cleaner from Turkmenistan, begins to follow in her father's footsteps, seeking path of revenge. So it's like a revenge thriller.
Yeah, revenge crime movie. More, it's not so much horror at all, but being familiar with his style, it is totally there. He makes great movies. Mm-hmm. I'm into his work, but it's very brutal. Like, I have no idea when I would ever watch this again.
Right.
That said, I liked it.
I agree. It's one of those movies that breaks through a typical subgenre of horror, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, that I'm not into, which is the revenge stuff, or it has to be done in a way that I find interesting, because a lot of, and typically, you know, look at like rape revenge type movies and stuff where it focuses on stuff. I'm like, I don't want to focus on the bad part too much. I'm ready for the revenge part and the other stuff to it like that. I feel like this plays the balance a lot better than some other stuff out there. So that allowed me to like the movie that much more. Because it didn't give me as much as the ick. I think it gave me the right amount of ick to make me be like, this is fucked.
Right? Oh my God. Somehow Sam, so there's a part where things are done in a sequence. And each one is brutal. Mm-hmm. And somehow my wife kept walking by me after each one happened. So she'd walk by, my face, like my mouth was just open and eyebrows, you know, I was just aghast, like, ugh, every time.
Which is funny because I feel like I saw that he was inspired by like a Dolph Lundgren movies and 80s action movies. And like, I'm like, you can see it, you feel it.
It feels like the grimier, sort of dirtier action revenge movies from like the late 70s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm. Take that and put Can Evrenol's touch on it, and you get Sayara.
Is it Can or Con?
Con, I
don't know. Okay.
Don't know, to be honest. Maybe we'll find out. So Sayara, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Next one I had on the list.
Just be prepared.
Yeah. We got a screener for, we weren't able to check it out. I'm going to be honest. I tried to check it out. There's probably user error on my end where I couldn't get something to work. It like wasn't buffering well enough for me. Something was screwed up, but this movie's custom. It's a couple producing custom erotic films is dragged into a nightmarish conspiracy when they start working for a mysterious client. Tiago Teixeira, maybe?
Teixeira.
Yeah, writer and director of this one. So they were kind enough to give us the screener for this. So yeah, unfortunately, I like I said, I'm still going to check this out. So look out at our Instagram or jump in our Discord, and I'll mention some stuff. And all of our letterbox as well. I mean, I'm going to have my kind of initial reviews and stuff. I tried to take time.
I only did watch it. I only marked them all as watched because I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? I'm putting them in. I'm not putting them through the Chuddle scale. I'm putting them through some sort of scale, I feel like. And because that's different. It's just a different scope we're working in. And I was trying to also write something and saying something about the movie more than I did. But also, you know, watch for the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. This is what I liked about this type of thing and stuff like that. So check out our Letterboxd and you'll see what we think about this one. So thanks, Custom. I wish I could have seen you before we did this. Next, we got House of Ashes. This one I saw in person. I don't think Sam had the time to check this one out, unfortunately, and this fell into the dark matter category here. This is a grieving... Sayara was the last one I saw.
Okay, perfect. This one is a grieving widow Mia must survive psychological and supernatural horrors while under house arrest in House of Ashes. Written and directed by Izzy Lee. Steve Johansson also has a writing credit, it looks like, on IMDb. This one, funny thing about this one is if you have checked out friends of the podcast, Pillow Fright's Halloween special, they have an ad in their special for this movie, and the main actress for it does a segment in their their show.
Oh, wow.
I noticed that after I had seen this, and well, obviously because their Halloween special came out
Right.
after this, and that was Leo. I was
After
pointing
you
at
had
the
seen
screen.
it,
I was
yeah.
like, hey. Yeah, I
It's
saw
fun.
that. And she, that actress and the main actor from this, and the director, and I believe the producer maybe as well, or co-writer, I forget who else it was. They were there, so they did a Q&A panel about it and everything.
Cool.
I
Shout out to Pillow Fight. Check out that Halloween special on the YouTube.
Definitely. You can see Ross and I have a little cameo in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm wearing this shirt I'm wearing right now. So not getting into much because obviously, Sam, you haven't seen this one and you guys can all check it out and everything here. But I liked a lot of the themes and what they had going on with it here. But, you know, check it out. House of Ashes. That's the next one.
Cool.
Here. Moving on to, all right, this one here. This is a big one. Unfortunately, I tried to get the screener for this one. I did not get anything back from anyone wherever I reached out. This is Dead Talents Society. So this won the gold. This won the top for the audience award. This won Best Film in the Dark Matter award. This won Best Ensemble in the Dark Matter category as well. This, and I, as I said, I saw this one in person here. This follows ghosts who want to become the spookiest of urban legends and most successful and famous stars in the underworld through their scare tactics and performances amongst the living. This movie was super fun, dude. This was such a fun horror comedy. I mean, it plays a lot like, has a lot of, if you're really into like the Asian, you know, cursed dead girl type of stuff, that's like what they play off of and have fun with, a lot of that aspect to it. And I believe it's from Taiwan, I want to say, Taiwanese. It's cool. Like I said, the cast all works really well together. It's a really good, like fun time. No. Not quite, but it does have it has some really fun, good gore in it. I mean, a lot of these movies do, and I'm not gonna, now that we've passed a couple of them, a lot of them had a lot of fun, good gore in ways I wasn't I was surprised at, and where they came from and what movies they were in and everything. So that was the cool thing about this fest too. Like a lot of surprises popping in and out with gore where I wasn't expecting it. But this one has a lot of fun. And I highly suggest, you're going to be seeing this somewhere. There's no doubt about that one. Next, we'll go over to Who's Watching. This one, I was excited about. So I saw this one in person. Again, I reached out a few different ways to try to get a screener for this as well, but had no luck, unfortunately.
This is the Tim Kasher one?
Yeah, the Tim Kasher one, the singer of Cursive. So that's why I was interested in seeing this here. So this is Caleb. Is a metalhead loner who becomes obsessed with his new coworker, Krista. He begins invading every aspect of Krista's life as his infatuation escalates from inappropriate to criminal.
Yeesh.
And this is screen life found footage. So it's all told with him, which was a fun, pleasant surprise. And I think works really well for how this story is told. Again, don't want to get too much into it because, Sam, you haven't seen it, but I really liked what they were playing. I was And
I just want to see it anyway because Tim Kasher made a horror movie.
Exactly, right?
Or a thriller, maybe it sounds like more of
horror thriller.
Whatever.
Yeah. You'll see. I think you'll enjoy it. Like I said, I had a good time with it and where it took me on the journey. And again, you see a movie in a theater, it always adds to the experience. But this was,
yes, it does,
done really well. Maybe I'll be honest. Maybe I had lower expectations because you hear like, oh, the singer of a band is directing like a movie, and that's interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think,
guys, how do you know they have any idea what they're doing?
Exactly. He knew what he was doing. I thought it was shot very, I was about to say competently, but more than competently, it was shot very well. And when the intention with how that was done and the direction and the acting, I thought was really good. And I am excited to see what can come out of this one and for anyone else to check it out. Now, I think at this point, that was the last one that we have seen. So a couple other movies on this list. I mean, I tried to get a couple more. Animale, which won for Best Director and Best Actress in the Head Trip category. The Dead Thing, which won for Best Performance.
I like that name.
What's that? Dead Thing?
The Dead Thing. I just like that name.
Right? What was that one? The Dead Thing is a young woman is lost in a series of meaningless connections. Wait. A young woman lost in a series of meaningless connections falls in love with a charismatic and sensitive man who hides a dark secret that turns her affair into a dangerous obsession.
He's got a dead thing.
He's got a dead thing. It don't work. Oh, dead.
I'm obsessed with this.
Oh, Gazer. I was supposed to see Gazer. That was one, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to. That one, best screenplay. And a couple other interesting ones here.
And it's a head trip one. So
head trip.
Yeah.
Rita is best screenplay in the dark matter category. That seems like another like sexy type of one. Time Stalker, Bird Eater, Jimmy and Sticks.
It's like enough sexiness. Geez.
Enough sexy. Well, I wanted like a lot of these.
I feel uncomfortable when I watch these.
Well, the problem is that at this point, no, it's I don't. Maybe it is. Maybe I do feel uncomfortable. I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for my goggles.
I can. Yeah, but usually it doesn't either for me. I mean, I'm with you. I'm just saying.
So it's like I had to prioritize what I was able to do and where I was able to take time away from other things so I could go out to this and stuff.
Right.
So unfortunately, a lot of things I've been Bird Eater is I believe an Australian film that's been on my list before I even knew it was playing here, and so I was upset I didn't get to see it. Same thing with The Soul Eater. I was supposed to go to that one and I wasn't able to make it, but those had been on my list previously to the fest. There's, as I said, Jimmy and Sticks, The Addiction, Lily Lives Alone, The Rule of Jenny Penn. Those were a couple of the others that are on here that we just didn't get to check out, but all I'm sure fucking interesting, fun rides here. And then the one, and unfortunately, there was one that we were just like, I don't think I can handle this.
Not interested in.
And that's called Black Eye Susan. So, I mean, there's probably some big trigger warnings for that one there. It was under Head Trip, but it's about like,
we even got a personal or an emails about this movie specifically.
Yeah, that we could have got the screener. Unfortunately, it's just like it's not our like. I understand what they're trying to explore in it, and
I'm sure it's important. Yeah, being
asked there, and it's kind of exploring AI and like consent from AI and beating up AI people or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like treating. What was it? Where we have the email, right?
Like, what if you could have a robot that you could beat the crap out of because you need to get that out of you? Maybe, I don't know. Like
vinegar syndrome. So
there you
go. Legendary underground filmmaker McRae, shattered dead 16 tongues, returns after 21-year absence from filmmaking for the bold, vulgar, and deeply thought-provoking Black-Eyed Susan. Simultaneously brutally challenging and deeply vulnerable.
That's it.
I think the brutally challenging was the first thing that was like,
I was like, I don't know if I need to be brutally challenged right now.
Yeah. The latest of New York-based provocateur reappropriates bleeding-edge science fiction concepts to address seemingly endless lengths that men will go to satisfy the darkest impulses without questioning the consequences of their actions. Yeah, a lifelike robot built for the purpose of receiving and enjoying sexual abuse.
Anti-cockles.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
again, I'm sure it's probably exploring some, that it's not that these subjects shouldn't be touched. I just can't go there.
Yeah. I agree. And that's the end of our list for here and tonight. So I hope this drums up some attention for some of these films. I hope people out there are excited. If any of these sound interesting to you,
add them to your watch list.
Add them to your watch list. Add them on Instagram. Get at these people. And also check out the Brooklyn Horror Film Fest. I know that's going to be a year away at this point. Well, it depends on when you're listening, but it happens in October. If you're in the area or if you're around Brooklyn or anything like that, definitely go and see it. I mean, this was my first year there, but I definitely go back the next year to check out some more of what they're bringing to the table based on what we were able to see here.
Go and meet Bryan in person.
Hey,
next year.
Yeah. I'll give you a sticker and you can have fun with that. So I think that's a perfect place to end the note for tonight.
Oh, real quick, I forgot I wanted to do this. I know we're ending, but going back to a movie, I want to do the Gorometer for Sayara.
Sayara? Yeah, okay.
Sayara.
Okay.
It's time for the Gorometer.
Fatality.
So consistency's low, I would say. Like maybe 2.
Yeah, sure.
Intensity's a 5, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to give it an extra one.
It's a tough intensity. Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's that
hard.
It's a hard 5. Because I know we have like our hard, soft, and easy 10s or whatever like that, but in that
7
category,
out of 10 feels. I mean, it's accurate to the scale, but I feel like you got to know that 5. I'd give it higher if I could.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I agree with you. So if you're looking, I think a lot of people that listen to us are gonna be interested in checking that movie out. Yes, it's less on the horror, but I mean, it's that revenge thriller type of thing, and I think we've lumped that into horror at this point. We're claiming that one.
You certainly can.
So. Again, check out all those things out. Hit them up. Hey, tell them Chuddle sent you, and then come over our way if you aren't already. Instagram, you know how to find us at Chuddle the Pod. Go ahead and jump on to Ross's Instagram at Ross Purvis for all of his beautiful artwork and tattoo stuff. Hit him up if you want to get tattooed or want to buy some artwork as well. Jump over at us on Letterboxd. I mentioned that before, but that's at Chuddle the Sam and at Chuddle the Bryan with a Y. Sam's got lists for days over there for you. If you want to see some of those, check them out.
It's true. I just made a new one. Well, actually, that one's private.
That's correct.
It's my top of 2024 in order.
I looked at it. I saw it. I'm going to say them all right now. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, avoid the time loop.